So welcome back to episode 3 of my DIY guide to creating your very own website. If you missed either of the other two episodes, they are here. Last week we covered products and services, and the week before we covered the homepage, about us page, and contact us page. This week we are going to cover the frequently asked questions or FAQ page and the privacy policy, two very essential pages for your new website to make it a success. So first off, the FAQ page. If you find that you keep getting the same questions from your customers or prospects, you are definitely going to need an FAQ page. You can list your commonly asked questions, so your frequently asked questions, hence the name of the page, and the necessary answers to make it easy for visitors to find the information that they need first off. And also it clears up your schedule as well. So if you find that you're having to answer the same question 10, 11, 12, 25 times a day, that's a lot of time you're spending simply replying to the same question rather than actually running your business and growing your business. So having those questions there will kind of eradicate the need for you to spend huge amounts of time just replying to the same old question. So it's first off, it's got to be easily findable. There's no point in having it buried 25 pages down, 9 impossible for anyone to find, because you'll still keep getting those same questions that kind of and wasting your time where you can't grow your business on answering the questions, even though you have that FAQ page in place. So there's a number of places you can start with the FAQ page. These will be determined by the type of business that you have, what industry you're in. But for example, how do you work with your clients might be a question that you have, and under that you'll just have the answer. My clients come from a variety of backgrounds, and I endeavour to provide them with the best coaching possible, regardless of their location or constraints. It kind of pushes to your website visitors that you're going to work hard to help them out, and that you're not going to kind of just leave them high and dry. Another question you might have is, so for example, for someone that's a business coach, so what is business coaching? It might be that your website visitors don't actually know what you do, but they know they have an issue. So this whole question would be simply might be answered by you as something like, I aim to coach business owners, business directors, to get the most out of their business, or to help their business thrive. It just helps you come across as more knowledgeable than what they are, which will inevitably help them have trust in you. So it reduces the time that you have on that questions. It gives trust in your customers or potential customers, and it keeps people on your website a lot longer. If they're scrolling through your FAQ questions, they might start off with, what is business coaching, and then how do you work with your clients, and then a third question might be, what industries do you work with, and that will only help to kind of narrow down whether they see you as a good fit for helping them in their business or for working with them. So the next page I'm going to discuss is the privacy policy page. So Wikipedia, I know it's not the best source, but Wikipedia states privacy policy as being a statement or legal document that discloses some or all of the ways a party gathers, uses, discloses, and manages a customer or client's data. It fulfills a legal requirement to protect a customer or client's privacy. This is a huge thing, especially in Europe at the moment, with obviously the GDPR law passing a few years ago. So while it's a law in Europe, it does affect companies and people obviously outside of that as well. So anyone that has a website um, should have a privacy policy page, simply because even the companies that host your website will be collecting data on visitors. So that privacy policy should explain how the personal data of your website visitors is collected and handled. So again, whilst you might not think that you actually collect any information or data, it's more than likely that that website technology you're using will be. For example, WordPress will collect data to show you what the best time, the times that your website visitors are, where their locations are. If you've got Google Analytics on, it'll be tracking them as well. So it includes things like your cookie policy and kind of things like that. I will be doing a video on kind of privacy and privacy policies on websites a bit further down the line. So that GDPR law I mentioned earlier affects everyone everyone obviously in Europe, including as well as some people that don't live in Europe. So basically, you need to have a privacy policy regardless of where you're operating. But obviously, keys look at what your local legislation is so that you can stay obviously on the right side of that as well. And if you have multiple operating zones, so if you operate in the US, if you operate in Europe, if you operate in Asia, it might be that you have to tailor your privacy policy to each of those individual areas or even the countries within those areas, just so you can specify and make sure that you obviously stand on the right side of their law. Again, privacy policy being a legal document, you should be prepared under the direction of a legal expert. There are a lot of GDPR experts that have kind of sprung up, especially in Europe, over the last couple of years, and having one of those on your side will make sure that you are staying on the right side of that law. So thank you for watching my third episode on a DIY guide to creating your own website. Again, if you've missed any of the other two episodes, they are right about here. Don't forget to subscribe to me, and don't forget to watch next week's episode, where I will be covering all of the optional pages that you can have on your website and how they can help your website be a success. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next week.